it's a very special course that's only available in UPNM in Malaysia. You need to undergo 6 to 9 months military training. Your handphone or like your electronic gadgets will be away from you lah. So like we have like the weapons class required to like just close your eye, like bare skinned inside the gas chamber which filled with tear gas. Actually, it's very adventurous, fun, but I would like to say it's very tiring.
Greeting peoples of tomorrow, see a need, take a lead. Welcome back to Encore 36 Podcast. I'm Barry, the host for today's episode. Believe that everyone has watched our last episode. We received tons of inbox that request us for more information about military medicine. So here we go to our new episode, which is episode 6, entitled Part 2 of Military Medicine. Today, we'll delve into the world of military medicine along with the experiences shared by our guest speaker, Michelle Leong. Then let's come back to as a military doctor. Now, for example, I'm already a military doctor. So what actually the responsibility for me as a military doctor at the campsite?
You mean like at the campsite is like when it's war or it's peace like here? Or I just explained here too.
Explain.
Okay. So for what I know lah, right? If I say it wrongly, so of course, just please help to correct me if like my seniors saw this, right? Okay. So actually, right, for military doctor, normally we actually having housemen as well. For military doctor, not me, it's like my seniors. They are also having housemen, so they're having housemen in military hospital instead of KKM hospital. So actually, they are almost the same like the other doctors. They just provide healthcare service. They're just like other hospital. They like if like they're working in a military hospital, they take care of the patients. If they are working in a clinic, which like rumah sakit, like we also have like the clinic for the military one, for the military personnel and their families, is in the camp, which is like much more smaller lah compared to hospital, of course. So mainly they're outpatient service. So and if this is what we they provide for during peace lah. So it's actually they work like normal doctors. But if during wartime, of course they will be sent to frontline, right? They will send like to different tasks, I guess. Because the task also I'm not very sure because I never been through it before. And I hope they don't been through it. So actually, right, other than the war zone, right, like Turkey earthquake, right, actually my hospital, there's quite a lot of army doctors and specialists that went to help out. They also have like international tasks under UNICEF, right? If I'm not mistaken.
UNICEF. Heard this before.
So they actually, other than like war, because Malaysia are the neutral country, right? So we don't really like involve ourselves in danger, I guess. So instead of involve ourselves in danger, we help others in dangers. So basically, if like they are help out, right, they also like depends on like, mostly of course they will have requirements, maybe like only like surgeons are required to go to these tasks, like some kind of these things lah. But if during wartime, actually I also like studied before, if Malaysia are in war, and then they are like selected to go frontliner. But actually, right, for frontliner, actually in war zone, the hospitals also have different levels. Like war hospitals or war clinics, some kind of things. But the frontliners, they won't give doctors to go. They will give trained paramedic, because they say doctors is very precious. Because if like for Ministry of Defense, right, they want to produce one doctors, they need a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of time. So they will sacrifice doctors easily. So if like for the first hand casualty care, normally it's the paramedics who give instead of doctors. So doctors will be like at the campsite like much more safer campsite, but it's still like in the frontliner level. So they will be there and then
provide
the
medical
care.
support.
Then normally it will provide medical support and medical advice. Yeah, because actually military doctor is quite lack in. I feel like it's quite lack lah. So normally what they say is like during like the frontline hospitals or the frontline clinics where the doctors are assigned to, normally you just one doctor there. You are one doctor, you are the only boss there, and of course with few paramedics, few trained nurses there, but you are the boss that need to lead the team. That's why they say military doctors need to be well trained.
Yes, understood. How about the injured soldiers? Are they only able to seek medical help exclusively from the military doctor, or is there any other options that they can actually seek the medical care elsewhere?
Yeah, for this, right, actually military personnel or like their families actually is also a citizens of Malaysia. So actually they can choose whether they want to get their treatment in KKM hospitals or the military hospitals. But normally they will get like, maybe they will get the first treatment in the nearest hospital they got, and then if like they want, like maybe because of financial issues and some kind of other considerations, they want to transfer to military hospitals, then military hospitals will take care of them. Yeah, and then sometimes military hospitals, if like they cannot handle this case, then they will transfer to the other hospitals like IJN, IKN.
I see. How about during the downtimes where there is no injured soldiers to attend to? What are the things that keep the military doctors occupied with? Are they actually engaged in the ongoing activities or training, administrative tasks, or any other duties to sustain their readiness?
For training part, I'm not sure because I'm not a military doctor yet.
Okay.
And I feel like I won't be a military doctor because but then actually because I was trained in military hospital as well, my training hospital is having two training hospitals, which is Hospital Selayang, and our main one is the Hospital Angkatan Tentera Tuanku Mizan, which is Hat Mizan, we call it as short. So it's an army hospital in Wangsa Maju. Very very near TAUC actually, by the way.
Means nearby Setapak.
Setapak area. We always see TAUC students and TAUC buses there. So there's a army hospital there. And actually the hospitals, mainly we just treat the military personnel, the retired armies, and also their families. So actually there are patients there, even though it's not war zone. It's like the KKM hospitals, like hypertension emergency, diabetics, uncontrolled diabetes, heart attack, some like a lot of this, like where we say like common disease are there as well, or common illness I can say is there as well, because we also serve for their families. So if like their families are ill, we treat them as well. So it's just actually we also give like the same treatment also as like KKM hospital, but actually right, army hospital, I feel like they are much more having like the financial support, I guess, because actually like the specs they're using actually is half private, half government.
I see. Now, thank you for sharing a lot of all these information about a military doctor. Now, I guess the audience will also be curious, like, what are the things that drew you into this unique field? What makes you to pursue a career in military medicine?
For me?
Yeah.
Like, why I choose military medicine in the first place?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, right, I feel like it's influenced by the military novels that I've read before, like Chinese novels, right? And then the Descendants of the Stars,
like,
the K-dramas, right? That time actually is quite famous, quite popular, and then like that like make me like questions why the other country have their army school, but why not Malaysia? And then of course I asked my father, because my father actually is a military lover. Like he's really into like military stuff, like what planes like this country they have, what fighter jets they have, what technologies they're having. Yeah, he just loves to read all of the military stuff and issues, and even military news he watched. But that's why I always refer him for military stuff, right? And then he said actually Malaysia also have army school, but that time he's not sure whether there's an army uni. That makes me like I go find online. Only I found there's a military uni here in Malaysia. And then it was lucky enough that they offer medical program as well, which I want to pursue that time. And then I feel like there's like I want to be a doctor, and then I want to like maybe try different experience as a in the army school. I'm not sure, right? That time I was very ignorant that time. Yeah. Ignorant and dream for like the army lifestyle. Because Descendant of the Stars too
famous.
Too famous.
Yeah, I also watched that drama.
So that's why and then this makes my mind to like apply to UPNM after my SPM.
I see. So according to all those associated risks with the military medicine, how have your family responded to your decision? Have they been very supportive to your choice?
Yeah, of course. You can see, you already mentioned that my father actually loves military stuff.
Yes.
And that's why he really supports me. And for my mom, she just supports whatever decision that I make. She just want me to be like, okay, it's really your choice. It's not my choice, it's your choice. So you better be responsible for your choice.
Yes.
So she, after like but she will always support me after making some choice lah. So my family actually doesn't really comments about like I entering UPNM. But actually my cousins or like relatives that actually they're having a different perspective per se lah. Like they will be like saying like, why Aga, you're a girl, you know. Why you want to go into military school? Later you kena bully how? Right? Because that time actually there's a case of like ragging case in UPNM that went viral that time. But now no already lah. So that time they're having like some bias towards military school. And then they feel in Chinese words, right? Chinese belief lah. They say if you are good enough, like or like excellent girl, excellent boy, excellent student, normally don't join army, right? 就是好男不当兵.
I heard this slogan before.
Yeah, so they're having like this mindset. So they question me a lot, or like the comments on my decisions. Yeah, but I was lucky enough that my family, which is my first relative or like first hand relatives, they all is like supportive towards my decisions.
I see. I think to make every decision in our life, family support is really the most important one.
Yeah.
How about on a lighter tone? Would you like to share with us some funny or interesting things that you have encountered during your study of military medicine?
Okay, so because I actually experienced quite a lot in this uni, because I joined the reserve army, and I also am a medical student in UPNM. So actually I experienced both the military training parts, some of the military training parts, and also the military medicine. So of course, as a medical students, right, for UPNM medical students, we attach to 2 different hospitals. So I feel like one of the interesting part is actually we can see like the difference between the military hospital and ordinary KKM hospital, which is Hospital Selayang lah. So we actually, and then we can like make like difference, or like we see different cases. Like some kind is like maybe some cases are rarely seen in like KKM hospital, but sometimes like very common in the army hospital. Yeah, so we learn two things. So there's a lot to learn. Yeah, of course. And other than that, I feel like maybe my military training life, like I went into jungle before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they actually provide you? I also did some research on this military medicine. In my opinion, I think that they actually provide you some accessories, right? And they let you go through the jungle alone and see whether you have the surviving skill. Is that true?
We are not that hardcore.
I'm
not that hardcore, okay?
Ah.
I'm because Palapes training is actually like we having our own syllabus one, and then like it's much more a lighter version lah compared to like the real army. But still we need to undergo jungle training or jungle survival training for annually, and which is the annual trainings lah. Yeah, annually we will go. And then normally I feel like it's sad because normally I enter jungle is during Chinese New Year.
Oh, yes. That's really sad.
Yeah, that's very sad. So normally I will like enjoy the full moon inside the jungle. Yeah, what I can say is like the full moon in the jungle is very big and very bright compared to the cities one. Yeah, and also I encountered like what we call the 鬼上身 is what possession. Yeah, is it possession, right? Possession in jungle. Yeah. Yeah,
I guess that's the really very interesting experience.
Yeah. And it's quite creepy that night, but yeah, and then I seen before like fireflies in the jungle, and then I got COVID inside the jungle, in the middle of jungle, which I feel is such a not unpleasant memories lah. Yeah, it's because it's very very suffering inside there when you're having COVID. So if you're having COVID and you're still in your bed, so appreciate that thing. Yeah, and also like a lot of stuffs that I undergo, like sunburn, build the kubu pertahanan, and other than that, like my military medicine courses also like give us a lot of first time experience actually. Like first time using oxygen mask, and then like first time going into a gas chamber, and then first time like going into hyperbaric chamber. Hyperbaric chamber we experienced to 5 meter.
5 meter.
Yeah. And what kind, and like some ghost story in Lumut. Yeah. That's quite an interesting part.
I see.
Yeah,
because you as a military student, you guys need to explore more to the environment type. So somehow I also thought of this from you actually. I was expecting this answer from you, to be honest.
There's actually like got a lot of like spiritual stories.
I see.
Yeah.
How about moving on to the more serious matter, like what have been the biggest challenge that you have encountered so far? Then how did you overcome it?
Actually, biggest challenge, right? As a medical student in UPNM, in the medical academic part, I'm not finding it like as challenging as the military part, which is like as a palapes. Because right, for academic stuff, it's like how you do in SPN, right? You just study, you just perform, or like you just pass the exams. It's just as simple as that. It doesn't require like much energy. But for like palapes training, I mean like military trainings, actually it requires a lot of like your mental and physical. So physical, you'll be like, actually my stamina is not that good. Yeah. So actually I suffer a lot during the physical training, and also the mental part, which is like get punishments. Yeah, because we not only like we having trainings, we also having like punishment is like part of the trainings. And I feel like the punishments actually can be very tortured your mental as well. So actually it's really like build your mental up, I guess. Yeah, so and for academic wise, other than like our pace is very fast, like because other than the normal syllabus, we also need to cover for military medicine. And especially 4th year, having 10 postings one straight is something that I feel is very crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like the stress part, of course, maybe is quite different from the other university lah. Because I undergone the military training before, and actually somehow I tried to give up in the middle actually during my military trainings, which is I already wrote a Kalabaris letter. Yeah, and then already handed to my secretary. But somehow my friends actually motivates me, and they're like, come on, we are going to go this together. We're going to go this together. So somehow then I regret the decisions, and then I tarik balik, which is I take back the letter. So I didn't manage to Kalabaris. So then I ended the 3 years with my friends, with all my friends, and commissioned as a second lieutenant in reserve army. So actually, right, other than yourself that was participate in the whole life, I mean, but I feel like the friend support in my medical school is really, really important. Yeah, if without them, without their supports, because actually, right, during military training, sometimes your phone is gone out. And then you can't really complain all these stuff to your parents, because your parents maybe are not the one that experience it. So actually they are not really knowing not really understanding
the
situation. So your friends are the one that you can rely on. I feel like.
Agree. Yes. So apart from parent support, friend support throughout the whole 5 years of study, as well as the military training, I guess is also the very important thing.
Yes.
How about until now, have you have any hands-on experience in terms of the military medicine? Like, you only attend to the training? Do you have any hands-on experience?
Okay, so hands-on experience, cause actually we having we were divided into the theory part and the practical part. So the theory part is something that very bored, right? Very boring.
Yes, theory.
Just lectures. But for practical part, actually it's much more interesting. And you're fun, because actually I have the opportunity to test drive in a jet simulation. I managed to enter the jet simulation to fly a jet. I mean, not really flying a jet lah, of course. They're having system help out, okay? But I'm having the experience of how it be on the sky or in the jet, and then how the balancing, how it will affect your balancing if you're suddenly you squat down and do stuff inside. Yeah, and then some of my friends actually they experience the G-force. Yeah, so actually they experience the G-force, and some until 3G, some until 6G, and then some even have G-lock. Yeah, so actually I have seen G-lock in my life before, because my friend is the one that got G-lock. Yeah, and other than that, of course, what I said, right, go into the gas chamber is something that you will not experience it if you're not in UPNM, I guess.
Yes. How about your future career pathway? Are you deciding to specialize in a particular area, or are you pursuing other opportunities?
So for now, right, for my first decision, I think I will just stay in the KKM service, which is like the other university students. So after completed, which is I hopefully, finger crossed, completed by this year, October, and then I will apply for houseman, of course, and then just enter into KKM hospitals, and then just like an ordinary medical students. Yeah. And what I want to specialize, I haven't like really decided yet. Yeah, because it really depends lah, like on your interest, on your journey in medical, like I mean like in the medical field. Because sometimes, okay, maybe like I feel like, oh, I want to be a forensic specialist, or I want to be a forensic medicine specialist. But then later on maybe you find something that are more interesting. Yeah. So it can change. So future can change. So for now, I just stick with my KKM life first lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see. How about for our younger listeners or younger audience, if they are actually considering their career pathway, would you recommend them or encourage them to pursue a career in military medicine?
So yeah, if you're really an army person or you really want to go army, okay, I would like to say okay, just go. But actually, right, I wouldn't say like I'm not encouraging them to become a military doctor or what so on. But I would like to say like there's pros and cons. Yeah, you need to consider it as well. And I would like to say like don't think that army life is like what A Boys to Men and Descendant of Sun have portrayed.
Yes.
It actually is much more tough than what you expect. Yes, and a lot of people can have like mental health issues during the journey. So for me, right, I feel like if like it's not your it's not your choice to enter army. Maybe it's like your fathers, your mothers, your uncles. It's like maybe they are like ex-army, right? They want their daughter, their sons to be an army as well. But I don't think it's a good idea because future is yours. That's why you need to decide your futures.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if you really want to enter UPNM, think twice. Think as many times as you can. Because you need to plan as well, and you need to like have the mental preparedness whether you can undergo like such trainings as such things that maybe you can't really understand why they're like why they want you to do that, but you need to obey. Yeah, because as an army you learn to obey. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing with us a lot of information about the world of military medicine. So I would like to wrap up a bit for our discussion today is that actually military medicine is similar with our med school syllabus, just that they have extra military service and training. And the thing that you say is very important is that we need to be physically fit to undergo all this military training.
Yeah, because not only physically, maybe like you are not undergoing the military trainings, but if you're enrolled into medical course in UPNM, actually it's also require physical, a physical fitness and your stamina, because actually military medicine requires a lot of energy. Really, every day I was very, very tired.
I see.
Yeah.
So I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our guest speaker today, Michelle, for sharing all your expertise and experiences with us today. Before we end our section, I would like to express our gratitude to our listeners for tuning with us today. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram to stay updated with the upcoming episodes and exclusive contents. Do not forget to leave comments or suggestions below. Your input will help us to improve as well as to tailor our contents to better serve you. Building bridges, sharing dreams. Viva AMSA!